Well, I'm back at you to give an update, like I said I would, trying to hold myself accountable. So, lots of progress has been made. So, let's recap in case you haven't watched my previous videos. I'm on a debt payoff journey. So, in 2026, as of January 2026, I started saving in order to have a emergency fund in place in case something happens. And also I need to get a project done, which is plumbing in my tiny home where I'm sitting right now, to get that done. So I aggressively worked toward that, and I reached last month in April, I reached $10,200 saved. So I wound up last month in April being able to start my debt snowball. I'm happy to report I still have not had to touch anything for an emergency. So that $10,000 still exists for the project / if emergency happens. Okay, so last month, April, because I had $10,200, I came on, I did a previous video here, but I did it in the middle of the month of May because for my debt snowball, I just have to say, I can't wait till the end of the month when I've got something to throw at the next debt. I just can't. So I hopped on and I told you that I paid off the first debt, which that debt, by the way, had a payment of $50 a month. So if you don't know what debt snowball is, I'm going to explain it, right? When you're debt snowballing, you take your lowest, and again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is just how I would do it. This is how I learned from financial advisors. So I'm just passing the information along. So, I had the lowest debt that I needed to pay. You don't even consider interest because after all, if we were dealing with just math at its core with interest, us having debt is a behavioral problem, not a math problem. So, don't even think about the interest. Get your momentum going. Meaning, take that smallest one and line them up. And as you start knocking off these small ones and knocking them out, and then you snowball what you were paying on the small one onto the next one, that's what you want. Forget about the interest, all that stuff. You're paying it off anyway. Who cares? Like, we're losing money owing it in the first place, right? So let's not get into the order and all that kind of stuff. It's just the reason it is the lowest first is to give you momentum. That's it. It's that simple. Okay, so with that being said, my first debt I talked about, I came on here in the middle of May, and I was happy to report that I was able to pay off in May that other debt. Again, I already did the video for it. So that's some money that I'm not even talking about today for the rest of May. Okay, I already talked about it. That debt's gone. Okay, so when we get in June, I needed to take that $50 that used to be paid on that bill and apply it to the next debt. So in my last video, that's what I talked about, my next debt. And I think I said $4,600 in that video. And I just looked it up and kind of around the time frame in May. I'm trying to think. Yeah, okay. So in April, I paid $150 that I normally pay. I also paid the $50 that used to be the previous loan. So there's $200 on top, okay? And I had extra money from my paychecks in May and sales in May. Again, when I'm working Debt Snowball, I'm finding I care a little bit less about envelopes unless I have the cash on me. So, with that being said, I paid, and I've got it written down here, I paid an additional $1,075 on that debt to pay it down in the snowball. That's extra I threw at it in May. Now, I'll give you the total where I'm at and what I owe on that. It's a personal loan. On that personal loan, after I cover with you what I saved in envelope challenge. Now, the envelope challenge looks a lot different for me now, right? Because if I have the cash on me that I'm going to just put off in envelopes because I got the cash as the month went by, maybe I sold something, yada yada, that I'm putting in the cash envelope. So it's going to look it's going to look pretty weak. However, it's still progress. So like I said, instead of going to the bank and getting the money out that I had extra, just to put it in envelopes to count it to pay extra, then it makes sense. So $1,075 is the total that I've paid additionally on this debt. And like I said, I think in the last video, the debt I'm working on, I think I roughly said, let's give or take, $4,600. That's where we're at, okay? So I paid the regular payment, like I said. I paid the extra snowball payment from the previous loan, right? So that's $200, plus I paid $1,075 extra as well. Now we are going to get into, I told you the envelope challenge is going to look quite different. It's not going to take me long to tell you where I'm at on that. But when I get this total, by the way, it's only 7 envelopes. When I get this total added up, shown to you and everything, before I open them, I am applying that to the debt as well. And then in June, I'm just working forward doing the same song and dance, okay? So I will say this, in June, which is the month I'm in now, I'm working on June, but this is recap for May. This is finishing up May. I haven't, envelopes are separate, you know, to be honest, I haven't put any in June yet. Anyways, but this is May. So I forgot what I was saying. But I'll count this up, and that'll go against the debt that I have as well. I guess that's what I said. Oh, and just keep in mind, June, I'm going to pay a minimum, June, which I've paid part of that, the $50 part, I've paid already. And the other part of that, $200, again, that $200 is my minimum now, right? The $150 and the $50, okay. So coming up on my next, or during my paycheck in June, coming up, I'm going to do the other $150. So that's the minimum I'm going to pay on that, on debt snowball figure of $200 on that debt, if I don't do anything else, if I can't do anything else, right? So here we go. Here's the envelopes. Whatever I said, there's 7, whatever. Okay, we've got $9. And I'm going to put it in front of me as I normally do. That was all $1, so that's $9. We got 16. Oh, I'm coughing all of a sudden. Here's 16. 16. Here's 40. 40. Here is 2. Here is 20. Here is 11. And here is $1 for the last envelope. So we have, whatever it is, I'm proud to have it. 20s. We've got 20, 40, 60, 10s is 70, 80, 5, and then 1s, 85 plus 1s. 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. How about that? So another $100 going right on it. So this I will put in the bank and I will apply to the loan. Again, it's a personal loan, and this particular loan is easy to kind of tackle. And what I mean is not money-wise. I'm talking about payment-wise, because it's a loan with the bank I already have, and it's a matter of transferring the balance in the account to the loan to pay it down. So it's really, really handy. That's why I don't want to take it out, put it in envelopes, put it back, you know, put it back in the bank, do the thing I could have done that was handy. That didn't make any sense. It's silly, right? So if you have anything like that, and you're actually in the debt snowball. So I would say this from experience so far, if you're trying to save up money to put back for a rainy day, you know, for your emergency fund, then maybe the envelope thing kind of momentum to get you there in the cash, you throw it in there. But if you're trying to pay something off and you want it super handy in your account as just your extra, but remember now, be careful with that. You don't want to just have the money in your bank account and not give it a job, right? Like, I couldn't say, like on this example, this $1,075, I'm not going to be like, oh, I got $1,075 left in the bank. What do I want to do? No. You still give it that name because it doesn't count on your snowball, obviously, if you don't throw that at it. I mean, I have a weird analogy, but like, rip it off like a Band-Aid and put it, I mean, like, get that out of your life, okay? So here's where I'm at. That 4,600-ish, I don't remember exactly what it was. Oh, there's a emergency vehicle going down the road. But yeah, I'm going to tell you now, we said $99, which will come, I'm applying this to the debt number that I'm fixing to give you. This is going in the bank and it's paying it down further. And that will finalize May. And then we will have a total, you and I, right? We will have a total of what I'm starting with as the balance in June that I'm working to throw money at, okay? All right, so after I paid what I've already talked about at length on this debt, I have the balance now at $3,382.08. And then we can do the math. I don't want to do it in my head because I'm not great on the fly sometimes. But take $33.8208 minus $99 because that's what's going to go on it additional. So we're at 32, you know, something. It'll be $1 difference. What am I talking about? $32.83, right? I think so. I think that was quick math, but I think so. It's only $99 because under $1 more than 100. It should be $32.83. Yeah, that should be my new balance going into June, and that's exciting. That's debt number 2. Oh, and I haven't really talked about this yet, but I have a debt also. We're gonna go ahead and talk about it, I guess. That I had some, I mean, I've talked about it before, but I wasn't really talking about the balance and all that, I don't think. So anyway, it's coming up pretty fast and furious, so this is why I'm talking about it. So I had a electrical project done on this whole, you know, getting moved and settled and all that, right? So I took out a personal loan. That's a different loan. See? That's a different loan we're talking about right there. That's different. So I took out a 0% interest loan to have my electric work done, which was pricey. And I've been paying $813 a month, and and that was for a year. And you could say it's less balance, and I just talked about all that, less balance than the other, but here's the deal. That's a unique situation in that it has no interest. I'm not justifying the fact that what I'm fixing to say is reason to do it after or before or whatever. The reason that I am not trying to attack that or whatever, it's going to happen naturally. Here's why I'm saying this. I have 2 payments left on that electric project. So if you do the math, and I said I paid $813 a month, I owe $1,626. So the reason I'm talking about it is it's going to look quite different. I'll talk about it again when I do the next recap. I know I will. But in tandem, I'm working on paying down this $3,300 debt, right? This other personal loan that's not 0 interest, by the way. And I know the interest is not the factor here. The reason I'm talking about it is on that electric 0% interest loan, it got to a point where I could do the snowball, and I took some good advice and was like, you know what, that's going to happen naturally, right? I mean, I'm paying $813 a month, just boom, boom. I knew you can calculate what you have left, and it's going to be a goner. So, of course not, okay, I've already made the payment this month on that $813, the normal payment. This is where I'm getting the $1,626 balance. So, what I'm talking about is, I know in July, I'm going to make $813 payment, and I know in August, I'm going to make an $813 payment. Therefore, I can easily determine that August, it will be paid off. Now, what does that mean? Well, what it means is between now and then, I just know that next debt is soon to be paid off in tandem with what I'm working on, right? So I'm laser focusing on this $3,300 or 32, well, yeah, we'll just say $3,300 because I got to apply this to it. But we're talking $3,300. I'm going to focus on just getting that down as far as I can over the next few months. And how close am I going to be to paying off this one in tandem with the other one, right? So we will see how that plays out. Stay tuned how the next couple of months go for me. Again, it's never too late to start, okay? Never too late to work toward total debt freedom. Freedom. I'm tired of being strapped in debt. I am making a change. And it's just me. And if I can do it, other people can do it. So, more to come on the other. I'm curious to know. I'm challenging myself to see if I can't pay this off just about, or maybe a little after if it has to be, when the other one pays off. Now, again, think about Debt Snowball. If I had a $50 payment, we're talking future now. I'm not there yet, but we're talking future, okay, over the next few months. In about 3 months. Think about that. I personally, I'm just talking about me, right? What I got going. I had $50 I was paying on something. I had $150 I'm paying on the current one. And then when I pay off that electric loan project, that's $813 more. Now we're talking more like $1,000 extra on the next debt. And we'll talk about that when I get there. The debt snowball starts rolling down the hill and gaining lots of momentum, and that ball keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger to knock out debt. I'm excited about that. So, tell me if you've started your debt journey of paying it off, that is. And if you have, tell me how it's going. And I'll share with you because I don't know if I ever said it, but I'm going to be fully transparent. I started off with $80,000 in debt when I started this conversation online. And I owe $67,000 at the current moment. Talk to you next month. Y'all take care of yourselves and keep on keeping on. You can do it.